Okay, let me go stick this in the YouTubes. Let's see here. Library. I don't expect a ton of people here. I'm just farting around today. Hey, Larry, how the heck you doing, buddy? Trying to get this up on my computer. I guess I got to go search for Leopard Leatherworks. Oops, that didn't work. Try this again. There we go. Let's see. Should be the pop-up live now. Excellent. We got it. We got it. We got it. What's up, Larry? Let me make sure my mic is on the right thing. Let me mute that sucker first. What's up, Larry? I'm going to turn that guy down up there on the wall. Let's see here. Got to make sure I got the right mic on. And let me see. I do not. All right. That is the right mic. Hello, everybody else. Just doing a pop-up live. Literally, yesterday I spent most of the day vacuuming up the bottom of the shop and rearranging, emptying trash cans, cleaning out the dust collectors, just trying to make the place a little more livable. So I thought today, again, we'll go live again tonight. Carrie's already scheduled that up. So today we're just going to learn how to make a a fountain pen. And quite frankly, we're going to be using this gorgeous white and ghost gold blank. So first thing I got to do is bring up my thing here. Again, playing around. No pro yet. Just working on the process. Buying tools, using tools, all that good fun stuff. Let's see. Let me find Microsoft Word because I had that open last in Word. And Larry, for your example, I used the cheat sheet and all that kind of stuff from Turner's Warehouse. Let me go get the size of these things here. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to use a different piece for the section, but body is about 3 3/4 inch. Let me get that measured up here. Again, going to be a nice, quiet, relaxing live. We'll go about 3.75. Oh, that's not even long enough. I may have to use both of these. I'm supposed to use it. I guess we'll make the section out of white too. Let's do a 2.6 out of this one. What is it? Up to 2.6. So let's make the cap about, we'll do it 2 1/4 inches long. We'll do 2 1/2. We don't want to skimp. I'll mark an X on that sucker. Let me go cut these off here. Let me put the chat into the stream. That way, should somebody chat something, I can see it over there. Hey, Ann, how you doing? Let's see. Where's that chat button at? There it is. Show comments on stage. Excellent. So I can see those on the TV up there, just in case somebody says something. I'm over at the bandsaw right now. Is that right? Did I measure that right? Always so much self-doubt. Yep, 3 3/4. Do. Okay. And I got the other camera on there until we sort of get busy on that section there. And the section is supposed to be Let's see. Let me make it font. Let's make it big. Oh, yeah, I like that. I can see that well. I see that well. Oh, look how you can do that. You can do all kind. They got all kind of options now. That's pretty cool. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, everybody else chime in, say hello. We're just farting around today, just having some fun. Okay, 1.2 to 1.4. So this would make a really good section here, Larry, because this one is about 1.5 long. So that'll be perfect. All right, we got our pieces. Let's see, this one here is 2.5. So this will be our cap. And this will be our, this will be our body. The thing I'm most interested in first is doing the cap. So let me focus down on there where we're at. Let's see, let's go down here to this one right there. We'll go back to the big one when I got a chance. I should just go over, do this and get rid of, what do you call it? We'll call that cap. Tighten this down. This is a collet, and there's a little, no, this is a mandrel for the collet. The collet's in there that holds that nice and steady in the middle. This is a keyless chuck over here that we're going to be using. First thing I'm going to do is get a little centering bit here. So we're going to pull this back. Got to get going the right way here. Here we go. There we go. Takes a second. So this thing here will essentially start what we need to do. So we got this, Larry, I got this at about, I'm going to get down to 600 RPM. That's about, 574. That's pretty close. I'm going to set the tailstock and just drill in nice and easy. Because all we're doing here is just starting a hole so that we, quite frankly, center that bit right in the middle of the okay, that should be nice and tight. Then we'll take that centering bit out of there, put that back up on my magnet. And then I bought this stubby here. And this is a other way. Larry, this is a stubby bit. We're going to bring it right out here to where we need it, nice and close. Clamp down our tailstock. Pretty smooth, and it's fluted to really pull all this stuff out, which is really nice. I'm going to turn the blower on. Now, the question is that I didn't measure is how deep should we go? So first I'm going to get rid of some of that there in the blower. Let me turn that off real quickly. Let me get out my caliper here. And we need to mark how far we're going to go in there. This thing is not moving well. Is it tightened down or what? Got some junk in its track, Larry. Got some junk in its track. So far, we're about that deep, not very far. But I think we're going to go, I think we'll be okay. What do you see, Larry? What do you see, Larry? All right, let me see how deep we are in here. We may go just a little deeper. Not sure exactly how deep it should be. But if we look at a nib, I got a little packet of nibs here. Yeah, that should be plenty deep enough. Right, this actually will go a little bit deeper. How long was this piece? This piece was 2.5 inches. I'm going to leave about that much to go at the top, so we did a little bit of shaping. I'll make it 2.3 inches, Larry, and we will mark our drill bit. That's pretty much the whole way in. Fine. That's just fabulous. Yep, that's pretty much right down to the chuck. All right, let's put that back in there. Stubby drill bit. Yeah, stubby drill bit. You know, what's his name was talking about that. Everybody was trying to remember the name, and they finally figured out the name of the stubby drill bit. And what I like about that is it really gives precision because it doesn't wobble. Let me move that forward a little bit. Get all the junk out. Boom. That is neck deep in that bad boy right there. Oh, let me pick up that water bottle. I lost my paintbrush. Here it is. Doing that just to clear out all the junk. I do, Larry and Ann, I do have a, hey, Kevin, I do have a ultrasonic cleaner now. So one of the refined natures of making these things. Yeah, how come it doesn't come out, Larry? Why do I have to work so hard to get that thing out of there? There we go. That came out. All right, so what we've done is essentially drill down inside there. We're going to trim a lot of this off eventually. And now we're going to tap this. And I believe, Larry, it's a 10 millimeter tap to get our threads. Let me go look. Body, there's the body. Let's get to the cap. Cap, dimensioning the cap. Okay. They actually did it 2 different drill bits, but that's okay. M13. 13 is the one on this one. 10 is for the what do you call that thing? The tip section going into the body. So we're going to grab the 13. And this is going to be a triple start tap. There's the M10 die. Must be down here in my box. Let's see. I got my bag of goodies here. M15, M11, M14, M12. Oh, must be out here on the workbench already. Do. I got too many new parts. There's my M13 right there. There's my nib feeds for the Yovos. Yeah, we are learning, baby. We are learning. And I got a couple sample pieces there. We can screw on these to make sure. Got to find that tap, though. That tap is laying here somewhere. I get to going on these projects, and it's like I get stuff scattered everywhere. So this is the... Oh, there's the 13 right there. Right there. Got it. Triple start. So this triple start means that we'll be able to have 3 different areas for this thread to catch. So it goes on slower, or goes on faster with less turning. Less turning. So we're going to need that right there. And then we're going to need this piece over here. Again, Larry, you might have to tell me what these things are called. I'm still new to this and trying to figure out what it is. Like some little slider that goes back and forth. Tight too, man. This thing doesn't have a lot of air in there. I know this goes in here because I put it in here before. I got to learn how to do this without taking it all apart. I'll do this under the screen. This little thing here is supposed to grab that. And of course, this thing here is the centering device. Should just slide right in, but it's a little new, so I've got to get it all figured out. There we go. I'm going to throw a little oil on this thread for this, whatever this thing is called, Larry. Forgot already. It's really just a holder that slides back and forth while you're doing these hand threading things. Okay, we'll move this up where we need it to be, right about there. And then we'll clamp it down. Now, see, to me, that looks, I see. Because it's a little loose in here. So it's not exactly right. There we go. Tap holder. You got it, Larry. Tap holder. We'll throw a little bit of lubrication on this thing as we're going around in here. It's going to cut some threads in there. Last one I didn't have that stubby, Larry. And the problem now, we're going to literally turn this by hand. And we're going to see some little curly cues coming out of that. We're going to go back and forth a little bit. But we're essentially cutting threads. These threads will likely not be the perfect distance. Because right now they might be too long, might be too short, don't know. But we are cutting those in there. Look on the box is all I can say. Yeah, Larry, if I had a box, came in a plastic bag. Turner's was out of them, so I had to go to eBay, I think I bought it at. So you sort of push this in while you're doing it to guide it in there. Come back out. All right, so now we have threads cut into there. And I'm going to do a simple blowout real quickly. Blow off my tap. And I've got a sample one that I did the other day of a body. This is the body that I turned or that I threaded. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that fits very nice. Buying that stubby really made a big deal because last time I did this, the hole was too large and the threads didn't really grab. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this little piece here. We're going to take this off. Get this out of here. And then we're going to take this one out of this thing here. Hey, Cindy, how you doing? This collet grabs pretty tight, Larry, so you got to come in here and push it out from the back. There we go. And I'm going to go put this in the ultrasonic sink or ultrasonic cleaner. I like those threads super clean. We'll put it on 5 minutes. It is now doing its high frequency cleaning. And let's see, let me change the camera over to where I'm at here. Yeah, we're just messing around this afternoon, Cindy. Welcome in, and whoever else is lurking away. I think it's going to be, is it this camera here? Nope. Is it this camera here? Nope. Is it this camera here? There it is. I'll tilt this thing to the side here. Gorgeous day outside. This is the ultrasonic cleaner. And right now we're just cleaning all the dust and junk off of that thing there. Of course, you're looking down and sideways, if you will. Sydney, what's up this afternoon? How gorgeous is it there in Arizona? Today, it is 72 clear blue skies. Little clouds on the edge, but man, it is just gorgeous. Light breeze, probably 5 miles an hour. This is very not Oklahoma. Feel like I'm in San Diego. I feel like it. San Diego. Let me get a soda here. Anyway, got off of work early, got everything wrapped up. Figured I'd come out here and just play, have some fun. Like I was telling everybody, I cleaned up the shop all day yesterday in the afternoon. Was just out here emptying trash and vacuuming the floor and picking up all the shavings and all that good kind of stuff. So I just figured I'd go live this morning or this afternoon and just play. Larry's at 80 degrees. Wow. Yeah, it's going to get cold on Sunday. I need to turn the comments off on my YouTube display. There we go. It was overriding the other ones. Clear blue sky, 73, almost identical to here, Cindy. Very nice. Are you diamond painting outside? You're in BA. Which BA? I'm in Oklahoma City. Norm, how you doing, buddy? Oh, probably Broken Arrow. Took me a second to go through all the towns. And Broken Arrow is over by Tulsa. Yeah, you're about I don't know, hour and 20 minutes from here. All I know is it's an hour and 20 minutes to the Quick Trip right there at Sapulpa, which is where I stopped for my, used to stop for my pretzels. Now we have a couple of Quick Trips in Oklahoma City. Clear my throat. You know what's funny is many people have all fantasized about why there were no Quick Trips in Oklahoma City. And there's a chain here called OnQ. And they all talk about brothers that started both and split apart and decided to divide the territory and all that kind of stuff. Well, I went to do a bunch of presentations at Quick Trip in the sales game. I work for a high-tech managed services company. And the reason was, and the reason there are Quick Trips here now, is there was a fellow that owned all the 7-Elevens in Oklahoma City area, and he helped the founder of Quick Trip, I forget his name, good guy, helped the founder of Quick Trip get started and get established. And as a sign of respect, the owner of the Quick Trip said, I will not come to Oklahoma City area until you no longer have anything to do with 7-Eleven. So a couple of years ago, probably 3 years ago, this guy, and I think it was an Indian fella that owned all of the, or it might have been Korean, can't remember, but he owned all of the 7-Elevens here in Oklahoma City, and he sold them and the rights to all the 7-Elevens in Oklahoma City to a new company. And that's when Quick Trip said, okay, we can now go to Oklahoma City. And that's why we have 2 here now. Isn't that crazy? And everybody thought it was this gentleman's agreement. Yeah, just like you're saying, just like you watching you while tractor pulls are good. Yeah, Norm, that's what a lot of people thought. But there I was talking to the people on the inside of the game, and they said, here's what. And I said, oh, that's crazy. Everybody's been commenting on that in the tubes forever. Okay, so there, we got that cleaned out now. So there's our cap. Beautiful, beautiful. Right here. That'll be our cap when we get going. Actually took some of that off. Beautiful, beautiful. Now I'll wipe that down, get all the soap off. But it's nice and handy to have a little, what do you call it, ultrasonic sink to really clean the threads out of this thing. Clean all the junk off of your pens that you're making. And by the way, Norm, welcome to Leopard Leather Works. I do a bunch of stuff here, but one of the things that I'm starting to get into is making fountain pens, or kitless pens as they're called. And Larry's a steward of the channel. He's been here forever. He's a scroll saw pen maker guy from Louisiana. Louisiana, right? Yeah, it's Louisiana. Let me get down to, let's go to the digital microscope. I just squirted this out with water. So we'll show you the threads down inside that thing there. I put too many threads in, but that's okay because this is just a sample. But there's the threads inside the cap. Yeah, normally, Norm, we make diamond painting pens mostly on this channel with a smattering of some ink pens. But I am getting into making these fountain pens because they intrigue me and they're so gorgeous. Okay, let's come back over here to the lathe. So here's our cap that we just made. And here's the body that I made previously. And that goes in there, cinches down nicely. It's only plastic, so you're never going to over torque that. Now we're going to make a body. And the body has threads on the outside and threads on the inside. 13 millimeter on the outside and 10 millimeter on the inside. The outside is triple start, so it only takes, let me just see how many turns, and I have way too many threads, by the way, but let's just see how many turns it takes to get this uncapped or capped on there. So there we are. To use the pen, 1, 2, and you're out. Now, if I cut down some of those threads, it won't be that many turns, but you really want to get to about, that didn't even go all the way up now. Oh yeah, it started on a different start, didn't it? Look at that. That's funny. Just noticed that. So I'm twisted a little bit, go this way. I'm still off. I'm on that. Went that way. Thanks, Norm. Kind of you to say. Okay. So there we go. We got our cap. Now, this should be, our body should be 3.75. Yeah, give or take. So this will be our body. That thing is like rock solid when it's in that thing there. That is fun. Mississippi. That's right, Larry. One of those fabulous states down there. I love all three of those states, more Mississippi and Alabama than I do Louisiana, but Louisiana is good too. Maybe we'll move down there one day because it doesn't snow at all. Well, I can't say at all, but it doesn't do it much. Okay, so a couple things going on here. Let's go see. We're going to drill this out. I think we're going to drill this out to, let me bring up my document here. Let's go back up to the top. Okay, so the body is, we're going to put a 5/16 inch shoulder on it. And then we're going to, and that is going to be 13 millimeter. We're going to drill it out to 9. Okay, 9 millimeter for the drill out. So let's get the old 9 millimeter out. That's 9/32 right there. It's going to be in my drill box. I got a new drill box. You know, sometimes you buy a drill kit and you just have it forever. And you never really know what you had used it for and all that kind of stuff. So let's put our, getting a phone call. Anybody I know? Oh, Care Bear. What's up, Bear?
I'm just following Tala to her house to go diamond paint.
Fantastic. Carrie is going to Tala's house to diamond paint. They just had it. I'm live right now on the YouTubes. Yeah. Welcome in, Carrie. And they just had lunch and she's on her way to Tala's house. They're going to diamond paint. Tala, sort of funny, one of our customers, and she just lives like 3/4 of a mile away. Yep, every other month, lunch, diamond paint day, they say. They're probably just watching soap operas or something. She says, no, they're not. I just scheduled a live and I'm going, baby. I am on the tubes of you. Let me get my center out. What's that, babe? I'm making a diamond painting pen. I mean, a fountain pen. Yeah. It is National Fountain Pen Day. So the question is, why does that wobble like that? Carrie is describing to me what kit she brought to Tala's house. Her Mrs. Butter D event kit. All right, let's get this centered up here. We got it started. Go about that far. That'll give us a good centering for our 9 millimeter. Carrie, I'm live right now. I'm not sure why you're worried about traveling. We're not going anywhere today. Okay, let's get that locked down. Now we're going to drive into the middle here. Going to put the blower on. You know what, Larry? You know what I forgot? I think it's a 6mm. I think it's a 6mm hole that is the hinge tenon cutter. So let me go check that out real quick because I got to do my 6mm hole first. Yes, sir. That's what I got to do first because that's going to guide my tenon. All right. Yeah, see, I'm getting these steps out. I just had that thought about, what is going to guide my tenon cutter? They have national days for everything. Absolutely. Hey, Larry, Norm, what are you doing down there in Broken Arrow? Anything exciting? Clamp that down there. I think I may have gone too far already. We'll have to see. Watching from your day job, sitting in your front room. No, on vacation this week. Nice. Honeydew stuff. I wonder how well matched these two things are. But anyway, we'll find that out later. Okay, now I can drill out. And I want to go in there. That thing is 3.75. So from that shoulder, I want to go that deep. Do you make pens, turn any wooden bowls or anything like that, Norm? Always happy to meet fellow craftsmen. I do a little bit of leather work myself. Oh, here. I got to do the tenon first. See, I'm getting all ahead of myself here. All right, I got this one set up for put my pole in there. This one looks like that's pretty thin. That's probably my 10mm. So this should be my 13 here. I bought two of these hinge cutters because I didn't want to keep going back and forth. Yeah, this is my 13 here. And that way I don't have to change that up all the time. It's a little hard to get that thing all sit in there. Okay. All right, now we'll get this matched up right there. And then I will get that locked down. And I will turn on the lathe. I'll go nice and slow. I'm going very slow because I'm new at this and can't really understand how fast I can jam that thing in there and not break everything up. So we're just going nice and chill. Sure is screaming a lot. Looks better on that giant Rikon that Chad is using. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I don't have this middle one drilled out far enough. That's why it's screaming like that. So let's back this out. Yeah, that won't go in any deeper. That's why it's screaming like that. Interesting. Troubleshooting 101. I could shorten that thing. Do woodwork construction stuff. Ah, very cool. Actually, you know what? There's a lot of good YouTuber construction guys out there. I love to watch them. My favorite is RR Buildings out of Sterling, Illinois. Those guys are fun to watch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this off because I need to go a little deeper with this 9mm. In fact, I could go as long as this thing is because it's not going to reach the bottom. And I think, Chad's talking about a number of people shortening down that pole. And what I'll do is I'll put this on there. If I go that deep, it'll be fine. So I'm going to lengthen that just a hair so I don't bottom out. Yeah, it'll give me an extra 1/4 inch there. All right, here we go. Let's get back in here. One of these days when I get all these steps down, I won't have this problem. Clear all the chips out, come back in, get some more. All right. We're good that far. Now we're not going to get that screeching problem, and we should be able to go all the way in. I have 2 shorts I posted on a job I'm doing for a fire repair job, learning the ropes of video editing. Yeah, very nice. I love watching do it yourself stuff or watch somebody, a pro, do stuff. Personally, I'd like to get a forge and a hammer and all that fun stuff because, man, knife making would be cool. Anvil, get you a big old anvil. Woohoo! Now let's get this married right up there. Clamp down on that. Get back in there. Okay, that's 5/16 and a little bit more because I want to square that end up a little bit, which I didn't do before I started. All right, so let's take this off. Perfect. These, what do you call these? Heinz cutters. What's that? What are they cutting, Larry? What are they cutting, Larry? I forgot already. Okay, we'll bring this one back in a second. Let's get this thing out here. Get my squaring tool up here. I just do it slightly until it doesn't bounce anymore. I'm going to chamfer just the inside of this. Ever so gently. All right. Now we're going to cut some 13mm triple start on the outside of this. We're going to get our tap extender or whatever you called it, Larry. When I start mass producing these things, I can see that I need to do a number of these actions over and over so that I reduce the amount of times I'm changing tools and all that kind of stuff. But right now, I'm just learning. All right, let's get that married up to the middle right there. And I got to get a little Allen wrench here. That's not the one. Is this the one? That's not the one. For the record, I have too many. Here it is. I even did myself a favor and put it down in my box, and I still can't remember. And all I'm doing is just screwing this thing down in there long enough to, or tight enough just to hold it in place because it has a little bit of a dimple in there. And then I got to take this piece off, and that's Allen head right there. Got a lot of Allen heads, man. They need some quick release stuff. Dang, how far do you got to take it? I'm trying to get this set key out of here. It's like, how far do you have to take it out before this thing slides out? Larry, the thing's almost all the way out, man. Gee whiz, Batman. That's what's shaking here. They must have a little burr down on off of that hex key there. Let me turn this thing around, see if I can get that down. Yep. Had a little burr on the end of that hex key. So I'm going to get out my round file here. I'm going to round that down a little bit so it doesn't do that. All right. Got that off of there. Now we're going to put this little baby in here. It's got a little reset there that'll do that. Put this key back in. And I'm actually setting up a couple of trays so that as I do this, all the tools that I need are readily available. All right. Doesn't need much tightening on that. Get that in there. Put this back up in here. Yeah, Norm, one day I'll be good enough for YouTube too. Right now, I've just been practicing. All right, that stuff is all gone now. Now we're going to let me get rid of all these extra pieces here. And I'll get these steps down really nicely one day. And I'll just be cranking out 10 pens at a time. Because you know what's funny is all I did was mention that we're going to start making fountain pens, and 4 customers have reached out going, I want one. I want one. And I'm like, okay. Guess there's a little bit of a demand. Hey, Rebecca. Hooky from work? No hockey. I don't know how to play hockey because I can't skate very well. And I'm not playing hooky because I left at noon. But I love to play hooky from work. Just not today. Let's see. Okay, so we got this piece here. Let me put the keyless chuck up there. Where'd my tap go? Let's see. Oh, it's right on the end of here. It doesn't stick out very far. So let me get this moved up to here. I'm going to get this clamped down. I'm going to get a little bit of oil on here and a little bit of oil in here where I'm cutting. Hey, Rebecca, did you send that air pump back yet, or that vacuum thing, or whatever that thing is called? I want to see if I get my money. If it doesn't work, I'm going to get my money back from Amazon and get a new one out here. Okay, here we go again. Again. Keep that clamped down nicely. And we're just going to go back and forth. Back and forth. It looks like we're cutting some nice threads in there. I'm going to get these all cleared out so I can bottom out down there. Beautiful. Bottomed out. Nice. All right. There's that there. That was pretty dang easy. I like that. Let me been sick? Well, that's cool. I'm glad you're not sick. It's okay. Hey, Brian. What's up, buddy? Okay, so we did some. I'm going to put this in the ultrasonic sink now. Actually, you know what? Let's tap those 10 millimeters in the interior there. How you doing, Brian? Everything going good? See, here we go again. We got to change this end again because I got to put that other thing in there with the 10 millimeter tab. And that is a single start tab. Rebecca thought I was playing hooky, but no, just done for the week. All done for the week. Okay, we got to go in here. Got to get the correct. I'm going to put a label on these, a little tag or something. That way I know which one is which. Or I'll hang them all above my head by a string, and that way I could just grab them and spring-loaded kind of deal. Okay, so there's that there. Then we're going to put this in here. This is some seriously tight tolerances there, which is good, I guess. Well, Rebecca, I hope you get well. All right, so there's our 10 millimeter start there. We're going to throw a little bit of taps in here. Excuse me, tapping fluid, which I think is just oil. Doesn't smell like 3-in-1 or anything like that. And I can use all this that I want because I'm going to put it in the ultrasonic sink. It'll clean it right up. So I just gently get those in there and then boom. And you gently push these together from this end to create those threads. Right now, I don't know exactly how far those threads should go. And I do this a little bit because the last one I did, I cracked when I went in too hard. So and I'm probably way too far in now anyway, but who cares? I'm just praying I don't screw up. Here we go. There we go. All right, so now we have threads on the outside and threads on the inside. You bet, Norm. Thanks for swinging by. Now watch from the Lurker Lounge. Excellent. Pull up the treats and have at it. All right, so there is our body. So let's just do a real quick test. Here is our cap. Here is our body. And they go together nicely. Look at that. Ooh, that's beautiful. And that's a nice tight fit. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I'm going to put this in the ultrasonic so that we can get them cleaned up. I'm going to do both of them because I just screwed a dirty one into a clean one. Time. Start. Start. There we go. And I will change the camera over there because we're going to be in there for a few minutes. I think it's this one. Nope. It will be, oh, it's that one up top. That's right. That one there. Glad you're doing well, Brian. Glad you're doing well. There we go. Ultrasonic cleaner. This is just the leather working bench. Got a bunch of tools over there for punching leather, stuff for cutting leather. This is called a round knife because it's round and cuts leather very well. And there's the day out there. Ooh, it's nice. Look at that. Beautiful out there. Beautiful. Been sick. So what do you got, Rebecca? You just got a fever? You just got the crud? Or haven't sold any crochet hooks yet. Haven't really listed them yet. But we should in the next week or two list them up on the website because I'll be the one that does that. Create the product and stuff. But I do have the 2 kits in and ready to rock and roll and enough extra handle kits to make about 8 handles. I would say I just make some and put them up on the website, but then somebody will also want some other particular color. There we go. This is me walking outside because it is gorgeous. Man, it's gorgeous. Beautiful. Beautiful. I like to watch this ultrasonic sink because you can see all the little stuff just coming right off the pieces. Pretty cool. And an ultrasonic sink uses sound waves to clean stuff off of stuff. Rebecca, what's happening with you today? How's your world going? Everybody see that plane crash and for the UPS plane in Kentucky? Oh my goodness. Those guys, they knew something wasn't going right up there. That was tragic. So sad. Couple of minutes to go in the ultrasonic. And the next, we're going to start on the section. That's the most intricate piece of the whole build, the section. The section is the part that holds the nib. And that one's going to require a lot of concentration on my part. Let's see, where's my pieces at? I'm going to make Carrie a belt. I got her a nice looking belt buckle here. I guess I should hold it that way because you're sort of sitting on your side. That'll be the belt buckle part of that. And this is the belt. And it is going to be turquoise. It is going to be gorgeous. Ooh, look at that blue. I wonder if it's probably got a seal on it. Then, oh, yes, it does. I don't have a knife over here. I do have some skizzers, though. All right, that thing just went off. Let's go see what this is going to look like on some leather. Carrie wants a turquoise belt. Let's come looking down right here. That is blue. Blue, 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 blue. Once I get I got to condition the leather first. It's just a scrap piece there, but it's going to be like that light blue turquoise there. That's going to be gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, let's take these out of here. And I will switch the camera back to where the business end of things is going to be. Hey, Natty, how you doing? We're just messing around this afternoon. Definitely going live tonight. Let me get this, and I'm going to rinse these out because they're full of hot soapy water. Having been in the ultrasonic cleaner, it uses hot soapy water. All right, those are cleaned out. I'm back in the shop, and I'm going to screw these together for you. So here's the body, and here's the cap, and they go together very nicely. Oh, that's nice. That is a wonderful snug fit. And of course, these will be shaped later on to actually look like a pen. Right now, these are just the rough parts. So we've got the body built and the cap built, and now we're going to make the piece that fits down into here and holds the thing out the back. But you know what I need to do is I need to drill that out further. I may have screwed that up. It's not going to be a real pen anyway. I'm just playing, so I don't have to worry about that. But lesson learned, I did the 6 millimeter, and then I did the 9 millimeter for the tapping. But now I need to really put the 9 millimeter to make a bigger cavity for the ink cartridge. But if I have to do that later, I'll do that later. But lesson learned. Ooh, that's such a nice fit. Whew. Love it. Okay, now this is the one that requires my brain to be on overdrive. We're going to go all the way through with the 6 millimeter. So we're going to take this piece out here. This is the tap extender, or whatever Larry called it. All right, let me find my 6 millimeter drill bit. Did I put it back in the box? Look at me, I did not. So that's going to be one of these guys right in here. So there's 9, there's the 6. Okay, this one is going to go all the way through. Let me get my chuckless drill down, or keyless chuck down. All right. I'll lock that down. I gotta do a center tap first. Natty, what are you up to? Ain't seen you in a while. Good to see you, though. Good to see you. Hope all is well. All right, that's just to find us a really nice center. We'll put that back up on the magnet. This is why that fella films it offline and then edits it, makes it go real fast. Yeah, this is going to go all the way through. And this is our 6 millimeter. All the way through. That baby's screaming like a bomb is dropping. All right, blower off. Let's get this now. We're going to leave this piece in here, but we're going to take this out, make that bigger, and we're going to put our 10 millimeter tenon cutter. Tenon cutter, that's what it is, Larry. Tenon cutter. There we go. This is going to be our guide rod right there. Going to go right in there. We're going to cinch that up nice and tight. Right about there. Cinch it down. Then we're going to slowly touch that tap or touch that section. There we go. Put the blower on. All right, that should be 5/16. Let me do a little measure real quick. Fractions here. 3/8. Yeah, that's right. That's on the money. Beautiful. All right. And now we're going to do a couple things on this. We are going to take this tenon cutter off, put it back in its box. Again, I bought two because I'm going to make these a lot, and I don't want to have to take the time to adjust that little guy like that. All right, so there's that one there. And now we're going to get our 10 millimeter tap out, or excuse me, 10 millimeter die. And I've got to swap it out for that 13 that is still mounted. Yeah, I can see right now I'm going to need a place to put all this stuff. Nice, orderly, in order. Here's how you do it, because there are so many pieces here. But when I start mass producing them, I'll be able to do that easier. All right, so there's that one there. And then we're going to need our other thing. Need to turn 40 pens and pour more and more resin trays and make putty. Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. It never stops here, Natty, I'll tell you. I got to get better at filing that thing down there, because there we go. All right, let's put our die in here. All right. Okay, now we're going to put a little oil on here. That's what you have to do? Whoo! Hey, Momo, how you doing? Way to go, Natty. Be careful what you wish for. A lot of the turners now are complaining that business is drying up because there's so many turners out there. And I'm like, you know what? Start turning, make a quality product. Got these little squigglies on there. That's perfect as we cut these threads. Yeah, they were talking on a forum yesterday that, oh my goodness, there's so many blank makers and so many droppers. And I said, well, there's a few business people out there. And then there's a few people who are just doing it as a hobby, you know, making it in the kitchen or whatever. Either one is good. There we go. All right, those are looking nice. Now, one of the things we're going to do here is we're going to trim back some of these because we don't want all of them. And I say, Natalie, you better get going, girl. A lot of work. That's too high. Down a little bit. Yeah, old Mr. Chad says that you don't want too many threads on this part. So you make them and then remove them. A little bit more. I can still see the start of the thread. And I'm going to chamfer the inside, chamfer the outside. Ouch. All right, we're looking good there. It's probably, actually, I'm going to take a little bit more of that off. Because you could still see the threads a little bit. Tiny bit more. Till I get really good, I'm a little afraid to take off too much. I'm super grateful. It just can be a lot to do. Absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah, you got your hands full. You got your hands full, sister. Tiny bit more. Hope you're enjoying yourself. That's what matters. All right, we are looking good right there. That looks nice. Okay, let me go throw this around. I got to turn it around. So what we need to do now is we need to take this out. And we're going to put it in backwards. And we want this thing to be, let me go see how long we want this to be. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You need any help, let me know. Making this section. So the whole thing is going to be 1.25 inches long. So now I got to trim this down a little bit. Let's see where we're at here. .25 inches. Where's my marker? Here's my marker. I need a camera over here too. But I'm not doing anything exciting except measuring. All right. So what I'm going to do is put this in backwards. So we just cut those threads. We're going to put it in this way. And then we're going to because we're going to part that right off of there. So we're going to drop this down a little bit. Get out a parting tool. You turn the blower on here. Nice and slow because we're almost to the center. And that should just slowly disappear. There we go. That's always a scary thing for me. Don't know why. Just because. Okay, now we're going to get in a little tighter. And just flatten this off very nicely. All right. Okay, now I need to go review the drill bits we're going to use. So let me go over to Jim's thing. Let's see, it's going to be okay, so we got the tenon right. Got the right tap. That is being dyed. That's good. Inspect the relief. It all looks good. Drill a 7.1 millimeter hole through the middle. Wish they would use regular drill bit ideas. I'm going to have to change that in the instructions. Flip the die around in the collet. That's weird. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I'm not particularly making that particular one. Let me go to, good thing we're not timing anything. Just got the outlet fixed. Nice, Larry. Fantastic. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube and let's go to Turner's. Turner's TV. Go to their channel. And we'll go to videos. And we'll go down to his live where he made the pens. Kitless pen turning. I think he does. In the here. Okay, so he's just on that part of the video, just where's the transcript at? I'll find here. There we go. Let's see. You can probably hear him talking. Let's see. Okay, so 9:30 seconds is first, and that goes all the way through. And that is that one right there. I think I got them all lined up, but I want to make sure. Okay, 9:30 seconds, 5/16. Is that this one here? Yep. So 9:30 seconds, 5/16. 21/64 and 3/8. So we got 3 drill bits all the way through. Okay, so the first one is this one. Let me get rid of this one here. So glad for you, Larry. So glad. That is pretty awesome. Very, very happy for you. I know that was driving you crazy and you couldn't do what you wanted to do, and now you are free to make some more man glitter. Or as Natty calls it, girl glitter. Because Natty's part of the turning team now. Natty, send me some pictures of your pens. Would love to see what you're doing. Proud of you. Go out there and make some bucks. Yeah, baby. Okay, here we go. And this one here is going to go all the way through. Get my paintbrush out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of cutting fluid on here. And again, there's already a 6mm hole through there, so did I not have that far enough back? I think it's all the way through already. Yep. Yep, I can go all the way back and forth in that. So we'll stop that now. We'll take this out. Next is going to be the 5/16 in the what is this one? Yeah, 5/16. Let's see. 9:30 seconds all the way through. Okay, I'm watching the video right now just to make sure I do, because this is the toughest one because you're making a graduated hole in there for the nib to fit. He's not saying. 2.3 millimeters deep. Okay, 2.3 millimeters. I think I got that marked. So let me get out my marking tool here. Millimeters. Measured from the shoulder. Looks like it's going to be a mark. Oh, here, marking with a pen here. Beautiful. Okay, so this next one here, I'm going to put it in here so I can see it. So this one is going to go 2.3 millimeters, which is that far from the shoulder. So just this third black mark. And I'm going to take this off, and that was zeroed out. So that is the correct measurement. And the reason this one is so critical is this is the thing that we're going to thread or tap to put the nib in. All right, here we go. Let's turn that way down. A little bit of cutting fluid on it there, and here we go. And again, most of the hole is already gone because it's drilled out. Let me just back this thing off all the way. Should have done that first. There we go. So, Larry, what are you making first, buddy? Okay, right there is 2.3 millimeters. I'll take this one out. Let's see. So there we go. And the next one is going to be 1.25 millimeters. Okay, let me zero that out there. Let me get to one. Oh, that's real. Did I just, oh, that can't be right. What's wrong with this thing here? Well, that's weird. Did I just blow that one? Oh, I blew that one. Crap. That was too deep. So this one is just barely anything. Just so I went too far. This one is just a kiss. Okay, so I blew that last one. But this is 1.25 millimeters, which is hardly even anything. Okay, so I think I went too deep with that other one. Yep, I think I blew that one. But that's okay. We're getting the strokes down. And then this one here just gets a kiss because it's the collar. Or was it 23 millimeters? Is it 2.3 or 23? No, 2.3. Yeah, I blew that one. All right, so let's get back into here. And this one, it literally is just a kiss. Clean that out. Blow it out a little bit. Stop it. And then if I hadn't have blown that, we may just redo this one because I got enough little pieces here to redo it. But let me see. Let me grab a nib here. That is a bummer. I was doing almost paying enough attention. Okay, so have a military memorial plaque to make, and maybe one more. Still got 2 police. So this here is the nib, and that is supposed to go right down into there. I think I need to tap that first. Maybe I didn't blow it. That's got to be about, if that were 23, not 2.3, that would be right. There it is right there, Larry. And that's about the right depth for that thing. Okay, so I just need to tap it now. So this is a JoWo number 6. I thought I blew it. Why did he say 2.3 millimeters? I'm looking again here. I'm watching the video right now. Okay, so that one he's going all the way through. Oh, I did that right. Oh, I did this right. Ha ha ha. Okay, I did that correctly. Okay, so now we're going to get the JoWo number 6 tap. Here we go. And we're going to get our tap extender, whatever this thing is called. I want to try to make a Christmas ornament for Turner's Warehouse. That'll be fun. I wish I were that skilled to do that one. I'll tell you, that'd be cool. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong one. I don't want that one in there. I just took it out and I just put it back in. All right. So we want this one here. That'll go in there. And then we're going to get our tap. We got to get that end off of there first. Okay, I'll blow that out. Leave that sit there for a second. And is this it? This is it. This is super, super fine threads. Here is my thread holder, or my tap holder, I should say. I'm going to cinch that down. Now we're going to take this and put it in here. And don't worry, we're still going live tonight too, so everybody can come back tonight and have some fun. Turning some diamond painting pens. All right, that shouldn't move much now. And then we're going to take this, loosen that up just a hair so it wiggles around. We're going to extend that down in there. Let's get some oil on that puppy. What's up, Kevin? Cutting some very, very fine threads here. And this is so this YOLO will seat down in there nicely. There we go. Super fine threads. Super fine. We'll take that out of there. Put that back over here where it belongs. Try to put things back where they go. All right, now let's see if this YOLO will fit. By the way, the name of the tap or the name of the tip is spelled JOWO if you were doing it in English, but it actually is pronounced JOWO because it's German. JOWO. All right, here we go. I think I got to get that second one a little deeper. That second one there. So that's through. That's that one there. This one's here. This one's got to be 2.3 millimeters. I don't know we went that deep. Yeah, it definitely is 2.3. Definitely didn't go deep enough for that third one. So let's do that one again. Hello, Carrie. Carrie and Tala are over there diamond painting. It's a little misgiving because there's a shoulder on that you have to pay attention to. Yeah, I don't think that shoulder's deep enough yet. I don't know. I don't think that's the right size drill bit. Let's see. 8.5 millimeters. How big is this drill bit? 8.32. So if I'm measuring this shaft right here, which is that shoulder, it's 8.32. And this drill bit, 5/16 is 8.32. Okay, should be the same. I think I just went the other one too deep. Okay, we can take this out now because we're done doing what we got to do here. So this is essentially our section. I'm trying to figure out why it won't go in. And it certainly is that collar up there. That just seriously won't go in. I think it's just not deep enough. Yeah, for sure. So let's make it deeper. You blow all the junk out of there. I think it needs to be just a tiny bit larger than that. I guess this is part of the experimentation. Let me see what fraction setting this is going to be. All right, so if I'm measuring this puppy right there, it's a 21/64, and that is exactly what that drill bit is. Yeah, that's what it is. Weird. Wonder if the end is worn off or something. That's weird. I guess this is part of the troubleshooting of figuring out why this ain't working so well. Yeah, look at on the money, 21/64. I mean, that's 2.3 millimeters right there, and that's just a hair back from that shoulder. And that is way deep. So this is 7.4 millimeters, or let's shift it to fractions. 37/128. Huh. Says 5/16 inches right. That is very odd. I wonder if it's bottom. It can't be bottoming out because that thing goes all the way through. I think what's happening is I drilled that one too far because my threads are too far down in there, I believe. Actually, it's only that deep. And this is a JOWO number 6. I think, no idea why that is. Definitely not reaching the threads. Let's see how deep those threads are. What's wrong here, Larry? You're the pro. Yeah, I think it's just not catching the threads. I think my threads were too deep. So how far did he say that went in there? Let's go look at him. Glad you're all just hanging out here watching me make a pen. It's so fun. He never says. Yeah, he never says how far deep that one goes. Let me go look at the cheat sheet here. All right, so she sent me the cheat sheet. M13M1. Let's preview that sucker. So let's go see. Doop de doop de doop 21. So here we go. 9:30 seconds. So he doesn't give the measurements on the cheat sheet. Well, that's not good. So 9:30 seconds through. Oh, 12 millimeters deep. 5/16 is supposed to be 12 millimeters deep. I may have blown that one. I think that's what it is. So let's go. Here's the 5/16. Let me get the, oh yeah, definitely. I definitely blew that one. Oh, heck yeah, I did. Now, let me get this marked a little better because I really dove in on that one pretty hard. Now, and the threads won't grab, of course. Let's see, 10. Right there. Okay, so let's redo this one. I need something that is one. I think I did that 1¼ inches when we started. Okay, we're going to remake that section. Luckily, I got a piece here. Whole thing is 1½ So we'll make 1¾ 1¾ All right, at least we know what happened. I blew it. Okay, let's come over here. 1¾ Larry, if you were standing here right next to me, I probably wouldn't have made that mistake. Let's see. Let me turn my thing around and get it to the right. We keep switching between millimeters and all that stuff. Oh, 1¾ I was going. All right. Okay, here we go. Good thing we're just playing around, not trying to make any money right now. Okay, here we go. 1 3/4. All right, let's get this back in here. Yeah, I blew it, Larry. I just simply blew it. That's all. That's all she wrote. I blew it. All right, let's get this out of here. Put that up in its holder. I'm going to get the 13 millimeter chamfer out now, or the 10 millimeter. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do on this is get our 6 millimeter, drill all the way through it. Larry, that sounds like measure twice, cut once, buddy. Okay, this is the easy part here. Okay, let me put that back over here because that's going to go there. All right. This is how you make it and troubleshoot it, and you pay attention and you figure it out. You clamp that down there. This one's going all the way through. This is 6 millimeter. Then when we're done here, I'll grab something to eat, and then we'll come back live at 6 p.m., I believe, Central Time. All right, there we go. That one is all the way through. Man, I drilled some really nice threads on that, or did a really nice housing connection on that one, but I blew it other than that. Okay, there's my 6 millimeter. Here comes my problem is, Larry, I got too many tools, buddy. Which I know no person should ever say that, but may be true. Okay, let's put that in there. We'll cinch it up there nice and close. And we're going to take a little bit off at a time. Here we go. Like making paper almost. Look at that ribbon coming off there. Okay, that's about our 5/16 inch right there. We'll back this up. Take that out. Take this off. And now we're going to tap this, so we'll turn that off. We'll bring this other guy back out of retirement here. Where did my Allen wrench go? Oh, it's over here where I left it. There you go, Larry. That's a spirit. And Norm Abram is my hero. I figure I would measure twice, cut once. I thought I measured a lot. I even dialed it right in, but I had the wrong measurement. That's the problem. If anybody wants to know how much it costs to make these, so far I spent $3,000 and I haven't made a pen yet. That's too much tools, Larry. That's too much tools. Let me get all the non-necessary tools out of the way here. Come back up into here. Give ourselves a little bit of fluid. Okay, here we go. Get it up nice and close. Clamp it down. Get some good squiggly lines out of there. This is a single tap, or single start, I should say. Want to keep it lubricated for sure. There we go. Tapped very nicely. Got some good looking threads on there. And we're just going to back it off gently. Take this out. Do-do. All right, that's some good looking threads. Now we're going to do a couple things. We're going to square off the end. We're going to remove some threads because we don't want this many threads when you're screwing this piece in. So let's get this over here. Make sure I got the right. That's about right. All right, first thing we're going to do is remove. Actually, we're going to square it up. We're going to remove a few of these threads here. Oh, okay. All right. I think we're done for the day. Losing my concentration and broke that right off. That is a bummer. Oop, that going flying across the floor there. That's not good. Come here, girls. Ah, dang it. Dang it. Yeah, no saving that one. That'll go right in the trash. And I got these two here. I do have another nib here. I may do my signature thing here because this one actually came out pretty good. And I was going to make all of my sections this maroon here. Where'd you go? Here we go. Oh, okay. So when we were all done, essentially, we'd have had this piece here that is properly done. Because the first one I made actually came out real well. Screws right down in there, fits beautifully. And then, of course, this fits down into the body like that. And I'm going to go ahead and just clean all these again. But anyway, that's the pen there. So now I just need to shape these. So since I still have this one here, this is actually hidden on the inside. I'm just going to go ahead and use this one here because I did a good job on that one. Let me put this nib back in its baggie so I know which one it is. Yep, I just zigged when I should have zagged, Larry. Just pressed a little too hard. And I'm going to put these other tools away so I don't lose them or misarrange them. I'll never lose them. All right. So now I got to get the mandrel out. And this is going to be a 10 mandrel. M14, M9, M8, M15, M10. The body mandrel. Okay, so this is a piece here that actually, oh, I got to drill this one out again. That's right, it wasn't deep enough. We are blowing it today, aren't we? I wonder if I could drill that out. How big is this thing here? I may have blown that one too. It may be a just total exercise of excitement today. 3.09. How about some millimeters here? Millimeters. This thing is it's almost 8 millimeters. And that was a 9 millimeter hole. Do you think I can drive an 8 millimeter down the middle of that, Larry? I'd be excited to try that. I'm going to try it. Worst case is it doesn't work, right? Hey, Trudy, how you doing? We're just making a fountain pen. Well, we're learning how to make a fountain pen. Let's put it that way. Made a few mistakes here and there, but we're getting the process down, which is what matters. You know, Larry, this MT2 doesn't fit very well in here for some reason. It keeps wanting to come out. I may need to, maybe get a little bit of oil on them or something. Okay, let me get this thing out here because we're going to drill down the middle of this baby and see if I can not screw up those threads. Yeah, we're going live tonight, Trudy. We're just playing around this afternoon. Got off work a little early. There we go. So the question is, Larry, did I screw up the threads? And how deep was that? Let's see. Yeah, we'll do the mad scientist thing. What the heck, right? Sometimes I tighten that down so hard, I got to get these magic wands out here to get it undone. There we go. Doggone it. Keep dropping stuff. This is not a good plan. Especially when I got to get down on my hands and knees and get underneath the bench. Okay, we got it. See if I can get that mandrel in there. All right, that whole exercise, that thing is still packed with stuff. I'm going to put on the ultrasonic cleaner, but the whole idea is to get this threaded onto there so we can now turn this as a pen. So we'll mount this and turn it. So let me switch over to the ultrasonic sink and I will place all 3 of these pieces in here. Let me switch the camera first and we'll go over there. Let's see. I think it's this one right there. Yep, there we go. See, that dried to a gorgeous turquoise, didn't it? There we go. Hopefully you can see that. We'll throw all pieces in there. 5 minutes. And now it's buzzing away. Ultrasonically cleaning this stuff. So we're going to get that out, and then we're going to get the, let's see. I need the M10 cap. M9. Did I move that over here? Oh, here it is. Yeah, M13 cap. That'll fit beautifully on there. Nice, nice, nice. Trying to keep these in original packaging until I figure it out. Little contrast never hurts a project. Yeah, that purple will look fabulous with that. Let me take a drink here while we're waiting for that to clean. I should probably adjust this so that it's like you're not sideways, right? Does that help? Or is that completely wrong? Yeah, we're sort of there. Of course, there's the outside. Absolutely gorgeous today. Beautiful fall day. Beautiful fall day. Look at that. It's just beautiful out there. Almost no wind. I mean, the trees are hardly moving. I think it's finally about 73 here. $72, $71, going down. Oh, yep, going down. That was the high of the day. It's going to be 45 degrees tonight. And tomorrow, the high is 70. What is that here? Let's go Saturday. Yeah, the high is 69. And then it's going to get really cold. The high on Sunday will be about midnight. And it just goes down and down and down. Might get some freezing Sunday night. Got to bring in my hoses. So Trudy, how you doing today? Again, this is just play around the afternoon. We'll be done here in just a short bit. And then we'll come on tonight and do some pens. Do some pens. Two minutes to go while I walk outside here. Beautiful out here. Man alive. I could just eat days like this for breakfast. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Minute and a half to go. Love the shirt. Yeah, one of my tie-dye classics. They're all original, and I get them from a lady in Bella Vista, Arkansas. And she's called Ozark Tie-Dye and Crafts. And she does some fabulous, just incredible tie-dye. Color, I mean, it's not like buying a tie-dye at Walmart because they sort of look all the same and sort of similar colors and stuff like that. But anyway, it's a gorgeous day outside. All right, let's come back down here. We got about 30 seconds to go. On the ultrasonic cleaner. It is done. Now what I'll do is take these out, and all the junk that was in them is now out of them. It literally vibrates it loose. So we will shut that lid. I'll swap the cameras. Yeah, I mostly wear tie-dye. All right, we'll put that back to there. Let me go rinse these off because they are hot and soapy. All right, those are clean. It also gets all the soap off them as well. All right. Now we are going to, so this thing here is called a mandrel. And this is going to screw onto that because these threads match. And then that'll allow me to mount that, and then we will turn it. We turn that blower on, suck all those things up. Here we go. We'll clean that out right there. And then we shall, let's see. Got to mount this, and this is let's see what size this thing is here. There we go. That's a 5/8 inch mount. Let's see. I got those out somehow before. I think I used a socket. Yep. Spark plug socket works pretty good. Maybe not. Man, how do you get these out of these collets there, Larry? Any idea? I've had this one in since I started. I think I need to put it over here on the vise. Too bad you can't press them out. I know they click in, but they don't click out too easily. Again, more to learn. You can't hold them in your hand and hit them. It takes a little more force than that. Need to make a little jiggy thing here to... This should probably work pretty good. There we go. Beautiful. So this is a collet, and it goes into this knurled piece here, but you have to seat it before you can use it. And they don't come out real easy. So, and then we mount the mandrel in that thing there. And it should spin it nice and true. Let me get all this junk off the bed here. All right. We will also take this drill bit thingy off here. All right. Get it up to speed here. Put a blower on. And then we do the thing you normally see me do. First thing we're going to do is round it. I have to watch his finishing video because it seems to get a little bit loose out here on the end. Not as rigid as I would like it to be. I wonder if I got to put my live center in there and steady it up or something. That's a little better. I need to go look at his measurements, Larry, and figure out how big that shoulder should be around. I haven't watched his finishing video because I haven't gotten this far yet. Those guys on YouTube, they make it look so easy. It's going to be gorgeous when I do that up. Let me go see quickly where he puts these at. Let's see. See what he's saying here. It's almost 18 mil. So he thinks he's going down to Let's see what you. You got down to about 16 or 15 and a half millimeters. Okay, so he's down about 15 millimeters. We'll have to cut this off soon because I got to go get something to eat, and then we got to go live again. So I'm at 17, 16.9. I'm not too far away. So let's go do this here. Put the blower on. This is fun discovering, though, I'll tell you that. Still down a little over 16. Getting close, though. Woo. That is going to look beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that's going to be nice. Okay, how far are we down? I think we're just about where we want to be there. Yeah, we're right at 16 millimeters. That'll be beautiful. And that means we'll make our pen. Let me turn that big blower off here. I do have to part this off here, and I got to figure out how deep I am on here. But I don't want to take it off where I lose part of my pen. So let me measure the interior of this. Let's see how deep this is here. Let me just zero that out. And I am 80.78 millimeters deep. Oh, I got plenty to kick off there. All right, so I'm going to part it. I'm going to lock that down right there because you don't want to part off where there's going to be a hole. So you want to go part off just a little bit above that. There we go. Okay, now we can put this back on here. And then we can bring this back over here to keep it steady. Turn it on, clamp it down a little bit, and then we will get our parting tool out. We will part that off, and then we will smooth it out. Here we go. And I have a very large parting tool. I need to get a smaller one. And all we're really doing is just grinding this off till there's nothing left. ever so gently. There it is. Nothing left. Now we will back this off, and we will do a couple things. One, I will square off the end. Give it a little bit of a dome. Very nice. That'll sand up beautifully. And then I'm going to round it ever so slightly, just to give it a little bit of character. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. I know, Larry, you may have a new career, buddy. Okay, let me take this one out of here. All right, now we're going to grab the other mandrel. And then we're going to screw the cap onto it. We're going to put that in here. Oh, I want to measure how deep that cap is first, because we got to know where to part it. Okay, it is 57 deep. I'm going to lock that in, and I'm going to mark it. Okay, there's not a whole lot to take off on that one, so we'll be okay. We'll probably just square that one up a little bit. Yeah, it'll hold it nice and steady. You know, Larry, we're getting it down, that's for sure, buddy. Okay, let me see where we're at here. And again, once I get this process down, I'll be cranking out. So we're at 19, and I want to take it down to 18. So I've got a little bit of a cap. This is the part that will screw onto the pen. So we're not going to take that much. I want to have a nice pronounced cap. So we're going to take just a little bit off of here. I think this is where my artist comes out. We're right at 18, so we're going to come down, we're at 18 and a half. So we're going to come down just a little bit more. I see how we're doing there. Okay, we're at 17 3/4. And the other one is at right at, yeah, 15.8. Good, that's about a millimeter on either side. So those will match up nicely. What do you want me to mark with a Sharpie, Larry? Now I just got to take some girth off of this thing. And just do a nice shaping to it. Looks pretty nice. Oh, where you parted off. Yeah, I'm actually not going to part this one off because I'll show you not a whole lot left. If I go out to 57 deep, that's how deep it is right there, Larry. So I have got just, 3 millimeters on that end. So I'm just going to square it up beautifully. We'll call that good. Okay, so let me get my other tool here. Oh, let me get the blower on there. Always want to pull all that dust in away from my lungs, that's for sure. A little bit more shaping here. That looks very elegant. I like it. I'm going to move that out of the way. We're going to bring the diaper in. We're going to finish these guys up first. I'm going to use a little bit of a sponge for a little shaping. Let's see, 4 o'clock. We're doing good. By the time I get off here, we'll get these two finished. I'll grab some dinner and we're back for the live tonight. And do some diamond painting pens. Although I tell you, this is a lot of fun. Once I figure out that section, I think the bodies and stuff are actually pretty nice. I don't want to say simple. Still going to require a little bit of thought going on here. Well, Larry, you keep going, buddy. I need all the help I can get, man. Whew, that thing feels smooth. Okay, we'll turn that off. Oh, that's going to look beautiful. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to do a 320 just to get rid of all the knife marks and that really rough sponge. I'm not used to sanding the end of something, Larry. And everybody else that's here. I talked to Larry because he's chatting the most, but I know other folks are here and don't mean to ignore you. Hope you're here just having a good time, whipping and chatting. Just like we're doing. We're just whipping and chatting. Whew, that baby is smooth. How fun. I have found it helpful, Larry. That is for sure. I like variable speed. That's easy to dial in. I mean, the Harbor Freight was variable speed too, but you had to change a bunch of pulleys and stuff. Smooth, baby, smooth. Carrie tells me, yeah, I'm going to go to lunch with Tala, and then we're going to her house and do some diamond painting, and you can go in the garage and work. And I said, thankful. Thank you. You're so thoughtful. Truly, because I wanted to come in here and play. Oh, that is rich. That is rich. Let's look at that cap in the leopard scope. Yeah, find somebody local, Larry. There's going to be some turning club down there, and somebody's going to know what to do. Promise you. See if I can focus that in nicely. There we go. Man, we're focused on the mica particles. I'm pretty happy with that one right there. Pretty happy. Okay. Let me take that off of there. Now they got to go back in the ultrasonic sync when we're done. Let's put this one back on here and finish it. I'll change the camera in just a second. Wow, 3.5 hours. Got to be somebody at church, some electrician, some handyman guy, auto mechanic, all that kind of stuff, Larry. Gots to be somebody, brother. Okay, here we go. A little bit of shaping with the sponge. I got to figure out which one I do this section with. I don't know how to do that section. I got to go figure out which mandrel that is. It's probably the 10 mandrel, I'll bet you. This one here, I'd imagine. I don't know if it'll fit all the way through it. Ooh, that feels good. Oh, that feels good. Thank you, Larry. This might be my actual first pen that you could call a completed pen. And we'll do a little matchup with the body and the cap. I think we'll finish the section tonight on the live. Man, that is smooth. Love it. Why would they run in the opposite direction? The heck? Got some good country folk down there somewhere. Got to be somebody down there, I'm sure. I wish I lived closer, man. Wish I lived. I like Mississippi, actually. My brother, or my nephew, actually, not in-law, he lived in Hattiesburg for, a couple of years down there. They really enjoyed it. All right, that's looking very nice. All right, so let's put these in the ultrasonic sink real quickly. I don't want to screw them together until I know they're good to go. So I'll pop those in there. All right, they are vibrating. And then let me go figure out which one he uses for the section. I'm going to go over to that video there. You're doing the body. All right, here we are. I don't know which one he's using, Larry. Let's go see here. Oh, section. Here we go. M7.9 section block. Is that the one? Oh, look at that. Man, I got tools I didn't even know I had. Look at that, Larry. Got a little mandrel for that sucker there. M7.9 by 6. Isn't that cute? Okay, let me take this thing off here because it's going to require a different collet. I think it's the 1/2-inch collet there. Back over here to my vise. Here's my spark plug socket. All right, that's the way to punch that out of there, Larry. Got to be a better way than that, but that's what I'll do right now. All right, let's get to our 1/2-inch collet. I believe that goes with this right there. Yes, it do. We will sit that down in there. There we go. That thing is sat down there. And they got a little 60-degree cone on there, Larry, and everybody, to guide it and keep it all squared away. How nice is that? Man, they have really thought that through. Hey, April, how you doing? We're a little early. We're just playing around. We'll be back in less than 2 hours to do the other thing. Okay, this one here, if this is going to go screw down onto the body or screw in, we got 48 seconds and I'll get these guys out and then we'll know exactly what we're doing. Because this little section has to meet up with the body. Yeah, the rest of it doesn't really matter that much. But to make it look nice, it has to meet up with the body. All right. What we're doing this afternoon, April, is we're just making a fountain pen. And I'm going to go wash this off. It just came out of the ultrasonics cleaner. And I'm going to wash all the soap and water off it. And I'll show you what we have created. And then the thing that's on the screen right now is we're doing the section, which is the part that holds the fountain pen nib in. It's not a perfect section, but it'll get us by right now. All right, so this is the thing we've created thus far. This is the body, this is the cap, and they screw together like that. And that becomes our fountain pen, and that looks way slick. Look at that. That is classy, man. I am liking that. That looks very elegant. Very elegant. Okay, now we're going to be working on this one here, but what I need to do is I need to get this thing away from the mandrel. So I need to loosen that up and pull it out a bit. There we go. Because I don't want to get my knife near the metal here and start screwing up my knife or the metal. Okay, now, so this section here will screw into the body. And that body, that's got to look pretty slick. That body is, let me get this done. Let me zero that out. That body is right there, a little less than 13 millimeters, which makes sense because I cut 13 millimeter threads on there. So we're going to take this, we're going to mark this thing right at 13 millimeters. And then we'll sand it down from there. Beautiful, right there. Now we will, and right now we're way above that, so we're going to bring it down quite a bit. And this is the end that's going to match up with the body. Okay, blower on. All right, let's see what this little end down here is getting to be. We're getting there, but not quite there. And all I'm worried about right now is this end that meets the body. We're just about there. And then we'll shape the rest of it for receiving the fingers. Woo, perfect. Nice. Okay, now we'll gently tease all this away. There'll be a little dip in the middle where your fingers go, and then a little raised section at the end, or raised portion that will stop your fingers from sliding down onto the nib. And April, I think your rings got here today. I saw a delivery, but I haven't opened up any boxes yet. All right, that should be the styling of our section. Let's break out the diaper. Man, this is like a little tiny spot in here now. Blower is off. Unmedicated mania. Uh-oh. Yeah, you'll need it sometime. In about 3 months, you'll go, where's that thing? Oh, yeah, threw it away. Hadn't touched it for 10 years, and all of a sudden you need it. I know the deal. Very nice. Let's get on to the real business here. And again, I'm finishing this just like I'm finishing the diamond painting pen because I want it to have a satiny yet incredibly shiny feel, because this is where your finger is going to go to hold on to the pen. And I will get good at this section. It's the hardest part of the whole pen. It's very precise, very new to me. I got the right tools, but really don't even know how to use them. So it'll take me a minute to figure that all out. And you know, since I'm going to stick with the same nib for all of 2025, and then change the color of this nib for 2026 and so on in other years. Every year I'll change it. That way, if you got a Leopard Leatherworks fountain pen, which, by the way, these pens are going to be known under the brand name T. Michaels. Pens by T. Michaels. And they will change colors every year. So this year you'll get a, what's this called? This is called Sangria Purple. That'll be the color of the section. And then next year, haven't picked out that color yet, but it'll be something else. Ooh, it's smooth. So as the years go along, we'll just keep getting fancier and fancier till we can't stand ourselves because our pants are too fancy. Okay, now we will leave all that white junk on there. We will take this off. We'll throw it in the ultrasonic sink. It'll be as clean as a whisker. All right, I'm unscrewing it off the mandrel now that I know how to use this mandrel. This is very exciting. All right, let's toss it over into here. And after we assemble this pen, we will take a break. I'll have some dinner and come back later. 6 o'clock, I believe. Oh, what a gorgeous day. I had the garage door open all day in here in the shop. Oh, it's just so nice. I love days like this. Took myself all mental health meds about a month ago and hope that I make it to my next point before the mania hit. Not so lucky, but my house is looking good. Well, visit my other website, April, clearthattrauma.com or Tim Costello Hypnosis. Yeah, it's what I do. Having fun. All right, we'll just wait a few minutes. That thing will be in there a few minutes. Get all that junk off of there. Sort of hoping that the government reopens, or I'll be driving to Florida for our trip. We got to get on the Disney Destiny on the 20th, and we have plans for airline flights through Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale, and they're having problems with all of them peoples. So they better open this sucker up and everybody quit screwing around. And I'm just over here clearing out junk mail. Where is Littlefield, Texas? I don't know what happened here, but the city of Littlefield, Texas says they got my resume. Oh my goodness, that's out in the middle of, that's like northwest of Lubbock, almost to New Mexico. I guess that's southwest of Amarillo. We got thank you for your interest in the Director of Public Works and Utilities with the city of Littlefield. What the heck do I know about public utilities? I don't know. It got to be some scam email. Got to be some scam email. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, they got to get serious and get this crap going, man. I'm telling you, the economy is going to be, the economy was starting to percolate and get moving in the right direction. interest rates coming down, that kind of crap. And then these idiots in Congress that can't get their crap together, playing their games like they like to play their games. And now we're all sucking wind. But yeah, people need their SNAP. There's a lot of people that really, really need that SNAP. They got no reserves whatsoever. There's a few who don't need it, and those are the scammers. I ain't worried about them. They'll figure out, they'll go steal something. But the people who really, really need that SNAP need it bad. And I don't begrudge anybody. That's not my decision. If the government's set up correctly and you qualify for it, I got nothing to say about it. But I know there's some people out there over qualifying for it, if you know what I mean. Right, I'm going to take this into the kitchen and get all the soapy water off it, and then we'll check it out. We'll assemble it all together and see how it looks. All right, here I am in the kitchen. Brushing it gently, running water through the middle. Very nice. Don't drop it down the garbage disposal, Tim. All right, let's see how I did. Let's see how I did. Let me blow all the water off of this thing here. All right, here we go. So let me clear that diaper out of there. All right, so here's the body, here's the cap, and here's the section. The section will go right in here. Very nice and firm. Ooh, nice matchup. Very good. So you would write with the pen like that. Let me put a nib in there just for giggles. Let's see, where's my nib? I have my nib here somewhere. At least I thought I did. Well, we'll grab another nib. I got a bunch. When I clean up this mess, I'll find it. Packages here. Okay, this is the nib. And the nib will screw into here and seat itself. So this will be your fountain pen. And this is the cap. Oh, look at that. Oh, I didn't measure that. That won't go in. So I've got to trim that down a little bit so it'll fit. Ah, look at all we're learning today. All right, so that's got to be smaller than that hole, and that hole's 21/64. That's funny. Yeah, so there it is. There is the pen. Again, if we take this out, and now I've learned I can't have that too big. All right, so that'll come out of there. So when it fits properly, this cap will go on there. Just like that. And that'll be the pen. That is elegant. I love that. It's white with a little bit of ghost gold in it. And that'll be the section. I got to turn that down, make it a little bit thinner. I guess I'm learning. Little by little. That's how we do it, Larry. Learn and learn. Saving Grace, 3 20-pound bag. Yep, a whole lot of ground beef grown locally. Nice. 11 chickens provide me eggs. You will not go hungry, April. Fantastic. You will not go hungry. And I'm glad. I am glad. Let me get this little thing here. Okay, we're going to sign off now. We'll be back in about an hour and a half. Let me put this back in its bag. I got to go find the other one. It's around here somewhere. I got so much stuff. I got tools everywhere, Larry. Got tools everywhere. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for hanging out for the last, 3 hours. Been fun. Yep. Have a good evening and see you soon. Bye-bye.